Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello. Cranking out some artwork this morning. Getting ready for the move and everything like that. So we're doing well this morning. Everything's going good. I hope you guys are well. Just thought I might stop by, give you a life update and all that stuff. Working on the jarred fetus video, recording daily little things to go with that, and edit it down at the end of the week and post that up. Even though it seems like my YouTube viewership, at least sharing through Facebook, has not been impacted in the slightest. I don't know why that is. I don't know if the algorithm sorts out YouTube videos and downvotes them, or just people ain't interested, or whatever. Which is probably the case, because it seems people are more interested in watching stupid ass BuzzFeed top 10 videos than they are like fucking actual content anymore on YouTube. So, God forbid. It's a dying platform, anyways, but I'm searching for something. Give me a second here. So, anyways, we were talking about the other day about never knowing what you're going to find out here. And I was out walking just the other day, and found this right here. It's an Alpha tactical flashlight, I guess. Has a USB charger in the bottom, an internal battery, and this motherfucker is bright. It's a single LED cell, and all it's missing is the lens cap. And for some reason, this was just sitting on the ground out there. Picked it up, didn't think it would work, but lo and behold, there you go. This motherfucker is bright, and it has a strobe too. Um, this fucking thing's crazy. Anyways, found it free. Heavy as hell. Could use it as a weapon. It could be mounted to a fucking gun, has a little side mount. Just found it laying in the fucking grass, and I mean, I don't know what's going on down here. It's fucking crazy, but apparently, yeah, people are just in the habit of throwing perfectly good shit out on the ground, and I just can't explain it, but that definitely will come in handy in the coming weeks. So especially if I have to sleep out in the woods or something, I mean, I could fucking use that to find a good place in the middle of the damn night, because it lights up a lot of shit. And it has a USB charger. Don't have to worry about batteries. All I have to do is find a USB charger for an Android phone, something like that, and I could use that to charge that motherfucker up. That's what I'm talking about. And yeah, I just found it, and the path delivered me a gift. I mean, what can I say? I'm not trying to be like religious or super spiritual, but just off of there's a lot of coincidences that happened over the last couple of years of my life to where it makes me, at the very least, stop and take pause and kind of figure, certain shit happened at certain times that was beyond just coincidence, because it had never happened to me before. It had never happened in those instances. And, like I said, this is probably one of the best free flashlights I could have found on the fucking ground to help me in the coming weeks. I mean, I don't know. To me, it's just showing me signs that I'm on the right path, and I got to do what I got to do, and that's the important thing, kids. I mean, and I've probably stated this before, but like, if you're not paying attention to the signs around you, or the things that are telling you to do certain things at a certain time, then you're going to miss the message. And maybe you got shit telling you all the time what you need to do. You're just not paying attention. You're just not noticing obvious signs or little clues here and there that you're on the right path. And you could take that as you will. You could take that as divine intervention, something to do with fate, or just general good karma, or you could take that as just coincidence. It's all coincidental. And I'm kind of on the fence about everything, of course. I've never been convinced one way or another. I've never said that I've never, for the longest time now, for a long while, I was like strictly scientific, and I tried to see the world in a pragmatic, logical way. But then, a couple years ago, when shit started going to pieces for me, there was just coincidences that happened. Like on my last day leaving that apartment, all of a sudden I found my cousin, who I haven't talked to in fucking years, Denise. She just contacted me out of nowhere, literally on the day I was sending my mom's ashes off with another cousin of mine, Libby, to be taken care of until I could get shit sorted to take them to where they need to be to put them in their final resting place. And then she messaged me literally when my cousin Libby pulled up in the driveway. All of a sudden, I see my Facebook Messenger go off, and it's like, what the fuck? Um, it's just shit like that. And I mean, the people who have systematically left my life over the last, which was my choice, mind you, in most regards. My cousin, who was a great friend of mine, big influence on me in my arts as far as, pursuing this path and stuff like that years ago. Um, he left my life because seemingly something crawled up in his ass and died. So I ended my association with him, of course. I'm like, after a while of trying to send him messages and get him to fucking talk to me, I left it and I started Tengu Press, my own, comic company, my own comic thing that I'm going to be doing, stuff like that. And then, I told you about this the other day, but I had a friend of mine who, this is kind of relative because this morning I was talking to a commissioner who ordered another piece the other day. She's a, good customer, great customer. Ordered a piece from me again the other day. And I explained to her, I just gave her a heads up because she was talking about before Christmas ordering some shit from me. And I'm like, well, I'm going to be leaving this place in the next week. I won't be able to do art for a while. So if there's something you want, you might want to go ahead and buy it now or get it or get me to do something because I'm going to be leaving and be out of commission for a bit. Sure enough, she came through and bought another piece off of me, and I'm doing that right now. I'm also working on like 4 or 5 different pieces I got, adding little bits and pieces to here and there, all depending on what I have time on, what I feel like doing mostly. But this is relative to, we were having a conversation this morning about, she asked me how many times did people ask me to do free work, and it's like, that's, as an artist, if you're watching this, that shit comes out of the woodwork every other fucking minute. For every 10, 20 people you meet online through your business, I guarantee probably roughly, to be fair, probably at least 15 to 16 of them are not serious about buying your artwork. They want some shit for free. That is the trouble of doing business. That is the problem of doing business, especially when it comes to heavily commission-based artworks. And I see me, once I get my comics illustrated, written, stuff like that, I can count on that income. I can sell the books. But until then, I'm kind of a commission artist for the most part, which I can supplement that by creating like fan art, stuff like that, to order prints of, which is a whole nother bag of nuts. But either way, we were talking about the free artwork thing, and then we got on that subject, and then I told her about like, just pimp mentality in general in the arts and worldwide, just people looking to exploit you for one way or another, and it is consuming America as far as I'm concerned. Just like with the art thing I just said, out of every 20 people you meet, 15 to 16 of those are looking to fucking pimp you out and prostitute you nowadays, it seems, for something. So that's the problems I've had, is just fucking consistent, like inconsistent people and just not having rules up on certain art pages as to how to commission me and what the deal's going to be from this point forward. Well, for the longest time now, it's like, okay, well, you're going to pay a deposit on your work, first of all. Pay me a fucking deposit. Reserve my services, give me at least some compensation that's non-refundable. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's $2,000. If you pay me that, that's non-refundable. That's just for me to get fucking started. Okay, that's just for me to start the fucking boat up. Okay, now how we're gonna get across this fucking ocean is up to you. And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's non-refundable. And I think I'm gonna institute a policy of no refunds in general. Just like whatever you pay me, I'm keeping. Like, I get paid for the attempt. Dave Chappelle said it best. I'm a comedian. I get paid for the attempt, and that's the way it is for me. Like, yeah, I'm like Evel Knievel. I'm like a stunt man. I get paid for the fucking attempt, dude. Like, that's it. And I'm gonna handle it that way from now on. And I mean, some of you may be thinking that's being a dick about it and that's being an asshole or whatever, but it's like, would you walk into a restaurant and say, hey, can you give me free food? I mean, it's the same fucking thing. It's a business. They're providing you a service. They're providing you something that you want, and you give them money. That's equal exchange. That's how it works. But going back to the free thing, I lost another friend, and pretty much over that. My old, my friend, former friend James, he had a band several times, and he was talking about giving me fucking exposure, whatever. Asked me to do free work all the time for his band, not all the time, but several times for his band. And you're talking about the entire band, all of them had stable jobs. And it's like not a goddamn one of them could come up with the money to pay somebody to do their artwork. And I mean, and that was like, okay, well, he was a friend at the time. So I'm like, all right, I'll do that for you, man. Or I'll try. They couldn't get their ideas together. They couldn't figure out what the fuck they wanted. I mean, it's a goddamn nightmare with people. It's like, okay, if you want something, you obviously know you want something, man. Just come to me with a fucking stable idea. That helps, first of all. Just fucking anything. Some people will come to you, and I mean, no offense to people who've asked me, but it's like, I'm not a portrait artist. I have never posted, for the most part, shit that was portrait art. But then they'll come to you and ask you something like, oh, can you draw me a portrait of fucking whoever, Tom Jones from the 1970s? And it's like, where did you get that I do that kind of shit, dude? Like, at what point? It's like, I'll try, but I can't fucking guarantee it. And then herein comes the fucking attempt part. If you ever come to me with a project like that, just know if you pay me and I fuck it up, you're not getting your money back because it's not my bread and butter. It's not what I fucking do. And as easy as you think it'd be to have a conversation with people, it is, but then it's harder when you have a conversation with people who are trying to exploit you and do shit because they're trying to constantly work and game an advantage on you. And you're not having a conversation. You're having a war with a person with words because they're trying to fucking manipulate you and get you to do this and get you to do that. And then when their little schemes don't work, they get pissed off and irritated and fucking like agitated, and they start turning that shit on you and being like fucking an asshole. So I am very thankful for this young lady, this customer I have. She has helped me out of a couple of tough jams over the last couple of weeks. So she's a fucking godsend, and she's a great human being because she does not mind paying. Like, I name a price, she pays it. And it's like I haven't exploited her either. On the other side of that, you gotta, as an artist, you gotta know when to give up on I want $1 million per every fucking picture I draw. It's like, okay, it's like my art is worth $1,000 a picture just to do a little fucking doodle or something. And it's like, dude, no, it's not. Like, let's be fair here. You got to be fair about your pricing, and especially in a down economy, it's like somebody comes to you, really loves your artwork, and is willing to pay. Don't try to nickel and dime them, dude. Just be like, okay, this is fair. Like, I'll give it to you for like, because the way I see it is, I'd rather cut somebody a deal and get $50 50 times than get $5,000 one time and possibly lose any business. Period. So I mean, retail gave me that customer service. Customer service is key with people. Like, they're a customer, and if they respect that you're a business, you respect that they're a customer. I mean, you got to be fair here. Anyways, I love you guys. I'll see you later. Have a great day. Things are looking way up, and things are cooking 2,000% now. I can't even describe how much I'm fucking on point now. So that's great. Anyways, I love you guys. Have a great day. Come here. Let Daddy give you a kiss. Who's my little man? Who's my little... little bit of tongue.